We here. We good. We Gucci. We
Are
vibing.
we?
Yes. Yes, we are.
I'm waiting
Fuck.
for my laptop to blue screen me again.
Yes, Paul Shapiro's trying to sabotage us this whole fucking time. He does not want us listening to his musical. First Spoots blue screened on the freaking computer.
Maybe he's transphobic. That's why.
I hope he's not transphobic. His musicals have trans people in them. I'd be very upset.
This would be so sad.
It is. Also, do you care about me spoiling an element that comes up about 3 or 4 musicals from now?
No.
Cool. Because there's some context that makes this make a little bit more sense, but also makes it more complicated and a little more confusing. Anyway, do you remember the plot of what happened in the first one? It was like 2 weeks ago. Or something, we watched it.
Kind of.
What do you remember happening?
Crazy bitch brings back dead friend because she thought he had feelings for her when he didn't. He expresses, "I want to be dead," kills him again.
Mm-hmm.
Poor man dies like 3 times.
He does. He does 3 times in the whole fucking thing.
Then our grandson starts bringing back people.
Mm-hmm.
Money and jealousy, I think.
Yeah, he blackmails his ex-fiancée into getting back with him by bringing back her dad, and then refusing to let her see him unless she gets back with him.
And then dead people racism.
Yeah. Basically, the grandson's son is like, "Hey, do you know what'd be fucking funny? If we just, like, ran a doll for mayor, because they can't talk. That'd be funny." So they do. And it nearly fucking works. But then the original doll has been brought back 3 times at this point since Jasper. It's like he finally manages to figure out how to play a song himself, and he writes one, and he performs it for the crowd. The song is literally just like, "Hey, I want to die again, for the love of God, please." It's very depressing. All the dolls start singing it.
Would you not also be depressed after being brought back for a second fucking time?
He lives for like 4 generations. That's like 100 so years.
I'd be depressed too.
Depressed
now, but I'd be even more depressed.
Right, some random girl hears the song that all the dolls are singing, and is like, "Damn, mood," and she kills herself, and writes the lyrics to the song on a suicide note. And the media kind of finds this as like, "Whoa, the dolls are making people kill themselves. Let's destroy all of them."
Racism.
Yeah, doll racism. So they burn most of the dolls. Jasper narrowly escapes death, unfortunately. It's a poor fucking guy. Then we skip another generation with a daughter who's vibing with Jasper and their mansion somewhere, hiding Jasper because if anyone finds him, they'll be executed. And then the girl's like, "Wait, Jasper wants to die. How about I just phone the police on myself?" And she does, and they both get shot. And the policeman who shot them was like, "Maybe we shouldn't execute people." So he goes against the government and starts a revolution. And that revolution is what this album's about. Well, technically, it's about a single family and their role in the revolution. There's about a 10. Okay, this is important if I ever make you watch the next one. But there's a 10-year time skip between the end of the original New Albion album and this one. Remember that.
No.
There's a big sticking point for the stupid twist that happens at the end of the third one, and I'm really annoyed about it, and it fucks the whole timeline. Never gonna let it go. Shall we begin?
Sure.
This is just the overture, so we just vibe to the music.
Welcome now to the continuing adventures of lost and fabled New Albion. Brought to you by Pop-Over Cigarettes, the smoke that takes the anxieties of the day and sweeps them away. There's always an excuse for a Pop-Over cigarette. Come with us, friends, back to a time that never was. The New Albion Radio Hour.
This shit's a vape.
I should have done advanced higher music.
Huh?
Because I'm thinking that's like probably a cello or a bass. And they're not. Fuck. What's the name for plucking the strings?
No idea.
Like 2 secs.
Yeah. By the way, the original album was steampunk themed. This one's diesel punk themed. So we're roughly like. This is about World War I, World War II era. That's why it's mostly jazz musical.
Pizzicato. It's pizzicato, I think.
Thank you.
When you pluck the strings.
Good to know.
On something you normally use a bow. I'm right.
I'll turn it down just a tad. There we go. Spoots really just goes ham with these fucking overtures. You're just like sitting over there analyzing all the instruments that are going on.
No, because I hated that part of music.
Fair enough. Just vape to the music.
It's the worst, like sing during exams. It's like, oh, 5 different instruments. She hears like, I don't know, a fucking trombone. Also, they once used that one TikTok sound in one of them. And I
what
thought
one?
It was really funny. It was a song from Chicago. It's Both Reach for the Gun.
I don't.
That song.
That sounds a fucking bop though.
The song is a bop.
Also, is that the name of the song?
Yeah, I think so.
But before we get into the obligatory New Albion song, where the narrator just tells us about what's happening in the town now. Would you like a lore dump?
Sure, go nuts.
Right. So the framing for this entire musical is this is a radio play retelling events that have already happened. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The framing of this has already happened, and this is retelling what happened to end the Civil War in New Albion. But this is not technically true. Basically, this is not like explained until about 3 or 4 musicals from now. But in this universe, there exist some people called posthumans, which are essentially people capable of manipulating fate. And the 2 narrators narrating this radio play are both implied to be posthumans and are actively changing what is the events of what happens, like as they narrate the story. So technically, this is happening in real time as they narrate it. Because later on in the musical, one of them just changes what happened. And that just becomes like what actually happened that day. So a random tangent over. And I believe only one of the narrators becomes important later. And I'll let the musical play before I go into rants about the lore.
Welcome back, listeners, to tonight's broadcast. For close to 10 years, a civil war has raged across New Albion. It is only with the Battle of Criers Boulevard that at last a victor emerges. But how is this battle truly won and lost? Join me, your host Lloyd Allen, and the Diesel Punk Orchestra as we take a tour through our dear city, explore the events surrounding the Battle of Criers Boulevard, and meet tonight's featured family, the O'Briens, here on the New Albion Radio Hour.
I could name, which I'm sad to say became a quite uptight, oppressive, and obsessive police state. An ex-soldier one day vowed to bring the martial regime down by igniting revolution, but the question remained how. One night at 3:30, he quietly snuck beneath Parliament, the seat of power where government meets. In the water there that ran, a truth serum he did plant, and that is how New Albion's civil war began. And it's been going on for years. The undertakers and arms dealers all have crystal chandeliers. There's a union now for spies who can be bought for any side. Their boss, the cigarette girl, works the rumba club most nights in districts 3 and 4 and 1. There's a redhead lad who runs the gangs of orphan feral youth who under his watch have become organized, disciplined, and from liquor, drugs, and contraband, the mob and postal service use them to deliver across the land. District 7, 8, and 3. Excreted dust to sandy rust, it's been discovered leads to quite a pleasing dreamy high. Thus it's the new drug on the rise, but only 3 albinos living underground know where it lies. A tinker we all know, with a shop on Tin Pan Row, makes little metal fairies whose souls a flake of snow. The government's last great big hope, this is the soldier plan you know. We'll be looking at more closely, friends, so stay tuned to the show.
We take a moment to appreciate how much better all the quality is compared to the stage play production.
Yeah.
It's mwah.
Mwah.
Also, all we need to glean from opening narration is the only thing is actually important is the government are experimenting with super soldiers. Everything else is background noise. Well, it's not background noise. Some of it comes up later, but more foreshadowing than anything.
We take you now to a small, morbid room deep in an underground bunker. His skin festering where the cables and iron tubes worm their way in and out of his reconstructed body, John O'Brien sits alone in the sickly green light, where only 2 mannequins with screens for heads keep him company.
Past the world, past the night, past the stars where seabirds fly, past your dreams to toil and shore, where we will meet again once more.
There's rust in my bones and sins in my flesh. My skin rots wires and iron infest. They've butchered my body to make me the best. dog of war they unleash on the world to burn and ravage, gut and hurl. In between, I sit here and think of the girl. The scent of fragrance on the wind
is all you are and all you've been.
Lullabies and dime store tales.
Dreams escape the green room.
No colors cloud your daydreams, your penny dreadful memories, your worn through wartime serial tales.
No dreams escape the green room pale.
That one super soldier, the one that survived. The red pills for duty, the blues for inside. Their failed plan for an army of gods made of iron. At night these screens light up with faces I've known. The flesh I've left rots and falls from my bones. I sit with the girl in the screen all alone. The scent of fragrance on the wind
Is all you are and all you've been.
lullabies and dime store tales.
Dreams escape the green room pale.
No colors cloud your daydreams, your penny dreadful memories, your worn through wartime serial tales.
No dreams escape the green room pale.
Please exit the bunker, take the red pill, and report for active duty. Please exit the bunker, take the red pill, and report for active duty.
In the fire, bathe in the fire.
God, I fucking love this musical. Did you get any of that?
Something about fire.
Right, okay. basic rundown. Meet one of our main characters, John O'Brien. The super soldier program. He is literally the only survivor, and all of his cybernetics are rotting. He literally just sits around all day in a bunker waiting to get called to duty, which he just was. And the next song is a flashback to how he got convinced to join the super soldier program.
Come with us, dear listener, as we go backwards in time, just a few years, to when John O'Brien was just a regular citizen like you, enjoying a few drinks at his local pub, as had become his ever-increasing habit. Hey there, buddy. You're looking down. Say, you're John O'Brien, aren't you? Ah, jeez, fella. I heard about what happened to your wife. Those damn rebels and their bombs got no respect for law and order. Who, me? Well, look here, I'll level with you. It's a damn shame to see a guy with your potential drink himself away like this is all. Yeah, you. We think you've got a lot of potential. That's right. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. I got a proposition for you.
Things have got you down, you don't know where to run. They're picking up the things you love one by one. Well, I've got news for you. A life you never dreamed come true. The War Department has a plan, it's men like you. We're setting up a special force to end this coup. Don't drown your sorrows, bud. Quench your thirst on rebel blood. Get it up, step it up, grab a gun and settle it up. And let's get with the plan, cause Freedom Corps will make you a new man. We're gonna take and make him more than just a man. I got a super soldier, yes, an ubermensch. The next root race is on hand. You'll be the new age of man. So put away the drink and let us change your life. Protect your city, save the day, avenge your wife. Kill some rebs, win the war. Be a hero, be adored. Get it up, step it up, grab a gun and settle it up. And let's get with the plan, cause Freedom Corps will make you a new man.
Now it's time for even more exposition.
Woo! Woo!
Has to be a super
Can you
soldier.
pause? I have to piss.
Quick, go, piss, run.
I will. I will run.
Get it up, step it up, grab a gun and settle it up. And let's go with the plan, 'cause freedom go will make you a Pardon me. How long is this musical actually? Is this the end of Act 1? Or the next Act 1 is? Act 2 has 7 scenes, has 9 scenes. And Act 3 has 8 scenes. You could be Gucci. Get it up, step it up, grab a gun and settle it up. And let's go with the plan, 'cause freedom go will make you a new man. Get it up.
Are you winning, son?
Yeah. Shall we continue?
Yes.
Past the world, past the night, past the stars where seabirds fly, past your dreams to toilet shore, where we will meet again once more.
I sat beside your bed on the night before I left. While you slept, I had my say. I know I had some drinks, but I explained you everything about why I couldn't stay. My anger and my grief, liquor, pain and broken dreams. I was no good for you, babe. They offered me a way to quench my thirst for blood and rage, and so Daddy went away. Your daddy went away. Your daddy went away. The hole in which I fell didn't want for you as well, so Daddy went away. I became the hand of karma, of wrath and fire and fodder, the terror in their light. The monster in the basement, the ogre of damnation, and the man inside died. But then one day the rage was all gone, and what remained was a chasm in my chest. The only thing that mattered, the child I turned my back on, the girl I should have kept. But Daddy left. Daddy left. Your daddy left. The things that I have done, the wrath that I have run, the widows who have wept, the beast that I've become, the judgment and the blood you must forget, or be crippled by regret. Your daddy left. Your daddy left. Your daddy left. Your mother was my life, my heart and soul and wife. She blew up and was gone. I didn't know how to go on. I didn't know how to
Past the world, past the night, past the stars where seabirds fly.
I wish for your forgiveness. I wish the past was different. I wish I would have known. I wish for stars and sails, pipe dreams and fairy tales, but atonement time has flown. And if somewhere you hate me, and your memories of me faded, and resentment's all you know, you could take some consolation at the sad end of his days. Daddy will die all alone. Daddy will die all alone. There's no one else that's left, just this room and war and death. Your daddy's all alone.
God, fucking Shapera's got a fucking way of making me care and feel sad about people I don't give a shit about. He's not great. He's not great at character writing, but he's great at songwriting. But it makes me feel sad anyway. So no, Cade, we're not just. I'm not just. We're all just sitting in silence while I play the whole thing. So shush.
See the song. Blah 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 blah.
Have you got all that so far?
Daddy Issues, the song.
Basically, the guy's wife died. The government was like, "Hey, want to become a super soldier and like kill the rebels who accidentally killed your wife?" And he was like, "Yeah." So he left his daughter with his sister, and went off to become a super soldier instead.
Well, it's just cringe.
Yeah, and the daddy issues come back later because Act 2 is all about his daughter.
Fun.
Yeah. So Act 1, final scene, go.
Please exit the bunker, take the red pill, and report for active duty.
Wade in the night to dance the wild ballet, the brutal fray. Wade in the night to lose yourself inside a feral fight. Wade in the night, embrace the unrestrained, the cruel ballet in the fire. In the fire, in the fire, bathe in the fire.
He's going to fucking hammer the instruments for a bit.
And now we come to the Battle of Criers Boulevard. After months of extensive planning, the city government had devised an operation that could finally turn the tide of the war. Complicated as it was, it hinged on their modified super soldier, John O'Brien, leading a platoon of men and taking a key facility. Their orders are also very clear that everything and everyone they find is disposable with extreme prejudice.
Extended Chad's vaping intensifies.
Thus it is that John O'Brien, the lumbering iron column, darling of the government's modification experiments, infiltrates the labyrinthian facility and with a platoon of men raise a swath of blood and destruction behind them. Finally, they come to the door of the room they were sent to take. John orders the men to hold their positions in the hall, and he blows down the door. Inside are only 3 non-combatant hostiles, 2 men and 1 woman. The woman screams, and so he aims at her first. There is a long pause as their eyes lock and hold. Finally, John lowers his gun and sings.
Past the world, past the night, past the stars where seabirds fly, past your dreams to toil and shore, where we will meet again once more.
Daddy?
John O'Brien and his daughter stand staring at each other for a long, frozen moment, until the sound of voices and weapons being locked and loaded echo from the hallway, breaking the spell. John nods slowly at his daughter. He reloads his weapon, turns around, raises it, and walks out into the hall.
Wait in the night, when what you were is through, the light came for you. Wait in the night, the day that you were found and laid your burdens down. Wait in the night, even the walking damned defend their lambs. Wait in the night, all your creations to return to you. In the fire, in the fire, in the fire, bathe in the fire, bathe in the fire, in the fire, bathe in the fire.
Boom, and that's the end of Act 1. You following so far? We good? We Gucci?
Kind of.
Give me the rundown.
Well, in that song, for it sounded like he stormed the rebel base only to find that his daughter and sacrificed himself for the people because there was more people coming, and I was like, fucking run, bitch.
Close enough, yeah. We don't actually find out what he did after walking out back into the hallway until near the end of the musical. But Act 2 is all about the daughter and how she ended up in there. And it's very pog. And they bring in a second narrator to play her, because it's still supposed to be a radio play. Let us begin.
Second narrator? Sure.
I know, holy shit. And she's also strongly implied to be a post-human. But that's neither here nor there.
And now, a word from our sponsor. Folks, in these troubled times, there's so many stresses that can get you down, one often wishes they could just take the anxieties of the day and sweep them away. Well, I'm here to tell you you can with Pop Over Cigarettes. You can grab the peace and happiness you deserve. And don't forget, one less stress you don't need to worry about with Pop Over Cigarettes is money. That's right, times are thin. Well, chin up. You can use your government-issued credits to buy Pop Over Cigarettes. All the pleasure without spending a dime. And now, back to the New Albion Radio Hour.
They really do like to push the gag of the cigarette ad. It's fucking everywhere in this show. I find it very entertaining.
This is like set in like what, World War One, World War Two.
That's the kind of era Diesel Punk's supposed to be in. Back when we didn't know cigarettes were bad for you.
Yeah, so probably would have very much have been adverts like that. I was like, forget your worries with a cigarette.
Yeah, they even bring it up in universe. Like one of the characters mentions the company by name. It's very funny. Anyway, exposition.
Welcome, listeners, to the second act of tonight's broadcast. And tonight, we have a special treat. The one and only Constance O'Brien, star of the stage, is here in our very own studio to perform the lead role in our second act. Welcome, Miss O'Brien. We're big fans here at the New Albion Radio Hour.
Oh, thank you, Lloyd. The pleasure's all mine.
So who will you be playing for us tonight?
Well, as soon as I get in character, I'll be Inanna, a young attendee of New Albion's high society soirees who has a secret agenda of her own.
Well, listeners, while Constance gets ready, why don't you let me, Lloyd Allen, and the Diesel Punk Orchestra here set the stage for our next act and tell you a little bit about her character. Here on the New Albion Radio Hour.
Also, they say her character's called Inanna, but everyone refers to her as Constance, and I believe she's supposed to be playing herself. So for all intents and purposes, the character's name is Constance.
Okay.
Is a lady, a lonely girl who maybe knows the ways of loss from end to end. The world where she's staying, its high-class rules seem crazy, and she's a low-class girl who smiles and just pretends. She's taking her time, she's taking your cool, she's taking your heart, while she's taking your jewels. She's taking tonight, she's taking tonight, she's taking tonight. She's taking it all, she's taking your mind, she's taking it all, taking you for a ride. Yeah, she's taking tonight, she's taking tonight, she's taking tonight. The theme is a lady on her mother's grave cried daily and still lights a flame on Sundays at the shrine. But now she's been staying in a world refined and stately, where beauty hides a fierce and cruel design. She's taking her time, she's taking your cool, she's taking your heart, while she's taking your jewels. She's taking tonight, she's taking tonight, she's taking tonight. She's taking it all, she's taking your mind, she's taking it all, and taking you for a ride. Wow, she's taking tonight, she's taking tonight, she's taking tonight. The upper class of Albion, the laws are quite clear. If you're female and divorced, you have no rights to adhere. Your wealth, your home, your children are all his to decide. Ladies drink their tea in fear of being tossed aside. The thief has seen this very thing happen up close. Man cheats, then divorces, then down his wife goes. At 50, all her money, children, world, and friends are gone in one brief flash, and all she knows just ends. Amongst these fine ladies, word of mouth says maybe if he decides to cast you cold aside, a thief, she can save thee, She only works for ladies. She'll get that little nest egg he denied. She's taking her time, she's taking your cool, she's taking your heart while she's taking your jewels. Oh, she's taking tonight, she's taking tonight, she's taking tonight. She's taking it all, she's taking your mind, she's taking it all and taking you for a ride. Oh, she's taking tonight, she's taking tonight, she's taking tonight.
Woo, let's go.
Woo.
Opinions on the musical so far?
It's alright. Very jazzy.
It's very jazzy. Also, TLDR, I'm blanking on his name. Fuck, what's the guy's name?
I don't know.
His name is John.
John.
John's daughter is a thief for the high class in New Albion, because the laws are still that if a man and woman are getting divorced, the man gets to decide who gets everything. So she exclusively takes stealing jobs for women who have lost their shit in divorce to steal it back.
Love that.
She's also got a boyfriend she's planning to run away with, which I believe is about to be expositioned to us in this song.
My sweet satin baby, 2 tickets are waiting. We'll toast on the coast, far from this town.
Tonight when all the lights hit the ballroom and the shakers and the quakers twirl around, and one of them conceals a small case we've been hired to steal. Tonight when the heist goes down, our client this time pays a pretty pocket.
I'll be there watching,
At last we can afford to skip town.
pouring drinks of trouble.
Tomorrow, don't you know, to the Chusian coast we'll go after tonight when the heist goes down. My sweet satin baby, 2 tickets are waiting. We'll toast on the coast, far from this town.
Boom, more exposition.
Ooh,
Also,
I
fun-
like that one.
Fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so she's attending the soiree, which is the next song, and she's going to steal this thing called the MCG from this guy who's attending there. And one thing I find very entertaining is the MCG is like a big thing in this play. It's like what most of this act centers around, is trying to get it and trying to keep it. But the MCG doesn't actually stand for anything. It's supposed to sound like MacGuffin, even though it's technically not a MacGuffin. Because a MacGuffin is something that could be interchanged with literally fucking anything, and the story would be the same thing. The item's only a MacGuffin's only purpose is to be wanted. But the MCG actually does get used at some point, so it's technically not a MacGuffin because it actually does something, and is used for that particular purpose.
Damn.
Just thought I would slot in some nerd knowledge from all
Of
the
course.
writing trope
Fucking
videos I
nerds.
watch.
Imagine.
Shush. Would you prefer
To
we?
be honest, anyone who's watching Ami's a fucking nerd.
Shush. Shh. Well, I'd like to imagine that my random pieces of commentary or make this stream more interesting. Because if not, you could just if I didn't provide my amazing insight, you could just go watch this yourself.
Yeah, but then there won't be a mushroom girl on the screen.
Yeah, and who won't go on about writing tropes and MacGuffins and random fan facts you skimmed off the wiki.
Spot the English major.
Shut up! Don't expose me.
I'm exposing you.
No. Let's just play the soiree. The song's a bop. I don't know, maybe I just really like jazz. Because jazz is the vibe.
Jazz is nice.
Yeah. I'm not really into like particular genres, but I'm a fan of jazz.
So you're saying is you like jazz?
Shut up. Ugh.
It's a dance in the city with the dames dolled up all pretty, and I'm feeling fine and frisky tonight. And the beaux in the clothes with boots and tuxes, ties and bows, getting flirty, smiling dirty, alright. It's a high-class foray, a hint of culture, tint of gay, the refined line to come out and play. With a fella on my arm, I'm up to do a little harm. He's my mark, I'm out to charm and get paid.
Well, aren't you the cat's meow?
You're quite light on the feet yourself.
Would you care for a pop of a cigarette?
No, handsome. Let's just dance.
He said the thing. He mentioned the thing.
Oh my god, they mentioned the thing.
The product placement is everywhere.
All the trends are getting set left and right. All the wheeling and dealing, drinks and handshakes all are sealing. All the twists and twists of business ignite. It's the thrill of romancing. All the bells are out of prancing, and I'm dancing like the devil tonight. It's the science of flirtation. All the wily games you're playing, and you both think you're the cat with the mice. It's a party at the soiree. Come alive inside and rave away and play. It's so risque where the rich play. Come inside, come alive, come on, wind it down and hustle today.
Say, you don't suppose I could ask your father for permission to call to you?
My father's gone, probably dead.
Dear.
And I'd rather not.
Well, they say if you journey to the underworld, you can raise the dead, or at least see them, I suppose. What's that Greek myth?
You're a better dancer than a conversationalist, darling. It's a dance in the
Clearly this man is an absolute lady killer.
Totally.
inside. While his eyes and hands are roaming, I'm just eyeing up his coat. Where the little case I'm chasing lies. There's a moment that's growing where I'm going all for broken. I just know it's gonna show itself soon. With a dip and a touch, and with some luck, a clumsy bump. Then I'm done, I'm gonna run to the moon. It's a party at the soiree. Come alive inside and rave away and play. It's so risque where the rich play. Come inside, come alive, come and wind it down and hustle today. At the party, at the soiree, come alive inside and rave away and play. It's so risque where the rich play. Come inside, come alive, come on, one and done and hustle today. Don't be dismayed, don't you see it all stay clear, cause all the action happens here. It's a fact that these soirees are where decisions are made, and behind all the smiles there's a beast here all the while. It's a deadly affair, it's ferocious in its glare. It's a clever test, it'll go straight to your head. It's a silent deadly roll, it's a writing on the wall where you stand when the cards fall. It's a dance in the city, all the wild, all the witty, get a kitty, get up pretty to play. It's a
Would you like another piece of random writing student trivia over here?
Yeah, sure. Fucking English major away.
Well, technically, the naming of the MCG being a nod to the fact that it's a MacGuffin, even though it's technically not, is technically lampshading, which is a trope where a writer will subtly nod to something meta. The trope itself being named after a gag where if a mic is present, like in the shot, a character will casually walk over and put a lampshade over it to like acknowledge that it's there, so it doesn't like rip the audience out of the experience. And so technically, it's a bit of a like a bit of a nudge from the creator because he actively acknowledging it's a bit of a MacGuffin.
Okay.
Thank you.
Here. Why don't you just do that for stream sometimes? Just sit and talk about English terms. Like, you need help? Here's some free help. Merry Christmas.
I mean, I could sit and analyze this shit all day.
I mean, why not? People watch that all the time.
Fair enough. I'll make a 1 hour. I'll make a 1 hour deep dive into the entire timeline of this universe.
I think it'd be longer than an hour.
It would. This shit goes crazy, right? We start off with like Go resurrects her crush, and it ends with fucking. Do you care about me spoiling something that happens like I think it's about 6 or 8 musicals from now?
No, I don't.
The very end of the timeline, at least until as far as I've read, ends with everyone in New Albion's national park fusing their bodies together into a large biological spaceship and blasting off into space, while the rest of New Albion is leveled by the incredibly racist military of a different town. So the shit goes places. The plot line of the very latest like the very end musicals, is the national park in the center of New Albion declares independence as its own nation. That very much does not like New Albion, but the national park happens to be harboring fairies. That's not like a metaphor, like they're actual genuine fairies. And there's a city, I believe it's what is it, Cascadia, whose military is very very racist, and the military is trying to genocide all the fairies. So the Cascadian military storms New Albion. They fight back quite a lot, but they can't stand up to the Cascadian military. So all of the this was already planned, but the final preparations were made just as the Cascadian military were invading. So everyone in the national park fuses themselves together into a spaceship and flies away, leaving what's left of New Albion to get turned to dust. So yeah, that shit goes places. The shit goes places. There's fucking fairies and shit. And magic. Like, there's genuine magic and shit. It's good. But anyway, back to this one. Actually, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Don't say anything cancelable. The 2 seconds I'm gone.
Okay, sure. I promise I won't totally not say anything cancelable. Right. Right, time to talk about our totally sponsor for the day. IKEA's Jungle Skog. Get yourself a Jungle Skog today, and not just the brown one, because there's multiple. You get the panda one, then there's a dog one. I'm going to Google this. What kind of Jungle Skogs are there? Google. My only friend. That's a lie. The Jungle Skog. The Jungle Skog. IKEA. It's sure, take my cookies. No, you don't have. There's a snake one. Please, just let me see your jungle skogs. That sounds so weird. There's a snake one. Where are the other jungle skogs? There's others. I know there's others. Oh god, this is gonna make me feel like I'm going nuts. Where are the jungle skogs? Jungle skog. There is the brown one, there's a panda one, there's a monkey, a lion, a snake, a tiger, a baby lion. I think that's a baby lion. You can get an elephant as well. There's literally only 9 jungle skogs.
In fact, why are you talking about jungle skogs? What did I miss? What were you talking about this whole time?
Don't worry about it.
I'm worrying. If there's any VOD to be salvaged from this stream, I'm going to check what you're talking about. No, again, I'm a little concerned will be content struck off the face of the internet for this one. I need to see. Anyway, so she's getting the soiree trying to steal the MCG, and then plot happens. So prepare for plot.
Ooh, plot.
Shit.
Language.
No. Fuck.
Did you get it?
Got it right here. Hang on, I've got to freshen up. I'll be back in a minute.
And on the day we come, it's over.
He's at the Fang. Yeah.
Please all keep calm while we perform our vows.
That's like the running motif for the military in this.
That man, an officer, has eyed him. He is a rebel. Soldiers, shoot him now. There's a device we have been seeking. And it is in this room, we know. There is a thief and she has got it. What do you mean she's gone? We'll find her. Go!
Run like the hunted, run like the coming, run like the sword will finally fall. Run like the desperate, your last final minute. Run like the end has come to call. Run like the hours, the days all counted. Run like we passed while dreamers slept. Run like the fire, the winds of desire. Run if you want to live again. Run, taste the rain. Run from mistakes you've made. Run away. Run and just embrace. Run the air, the pulse, the pain. Run away.
Constance! Aunt Jacqueline? Quick, get in. Aunt Jackie, what are you doing here?
A dragnet's on the street and your name is its list, my sweet. The cops are blowing doors down while they weep. But you, my dear, have been busy making pockets light and dizzy. I know the little secrets that you keep. My pals in the resistance caught wind of the existence of this dapper device called the MCG. And they hired this thief to swipe it. Then you showed up doll and diaper. Now I know the little secret that you keep.
Aunt Jay, I know you raised me after my folks died, but these days I've got a geek that's crazy heavy sweet. A new name, boyfriend, life, I meant to tell you, but got tired. All these little family secrets that we keep.
New life, sad to say, the cops are peeling it away. You name your place, dismantle piece by piece. That thing you took is precious to the cops, hawks, and resistance, and they'll string you up and swing you in the streets. There's one way that this goes down. We've got to get you underground. This map is marked and bring that MCG. Down beneath the city, a substation sits all ready to receive that hot potato that you keep.
I don't care about your plan, I only care about my man. When the cops came, he was stuck and still inside. If they find out who he is, he'll be beaten, tortured, killed. I could trade this stupid thing to save his life.
Your fella's not important. You forget that there's a war on. There's a greater good of which you now must think. We've worked for years and now we're gonna bring those bastards down. These little family secrets that we keep. I will spill a straight admission. Your aunt's long since found religion. There's a voodoo cult who meets under the streets. Go underground and find them, and they'll help you and they'll guide you. They know the little secrets that you keep. Oh, these little family secrets that we keep. Those little family.
Constance, come back!
Run like the hunted, run like they're coming. Run like the sword will finally fall. Run like the desperate, your last final minute. Run like the end has come to call. Run like the hours, the days on we counted. Run like they passed while dreamers slept. Run like the fire, the winds of desire. Run if you want to live again. Run, taste the rain. Run from mistakes you've made. Run away. Run and just embrace. Run the air that pulls the pain. Run away. Thomas. Thomas.
I forgot they just name dropped this guy. We've known him for like a couple songs now.
And now here I am.
Oh, thank God, baby. How did you escape?
Don't worry now. Do you still have it?
It's right here now. Come, let's blow this joint, my dear. Tonight the heist went down.
And on the day we come, it's over. I can help you if you just stay calm. There's bigger things here than you realize. I'm sorry, but this must be done. And on this day, the party's over. It's time to wake up. There's a war to win. And if you run, these men will shoot you.
This isn't real. This isn't happening. When did they turn you? How long since?
Just take my hand, I'll help you live.
Run, the tears and shame. Run when you've been betrayed. Run away. Run when your heart breaks. Run, the pain just slaps your face. Run away. Run, taste the tears you trace. Run from mistakes you've made. Run away. Run somewhere far away. Run away.
That was a lot in one song. Did
Yeah.
you get most of that?
No.
Right. Okay. breakdown. She steals it. She goes to the bathroom, presumably to like, take a piss or something. The police break in, shoot the guy that she just stole the MCG from. She hears this, fucking runs. Meets her aunt, who reveals that she's a rebel. And also, fun fact: the rebellion is also a cult for some reason. Remember all the weird chanting from the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, they went like full blown cult with it. And they're still called the Voodoo Punks. But her aunt's like, hey, you should just like take the MCG and bring it down to Resistance so we can have it. And Connors is like, how about I don't do that and just my boyfriend's still back there. They'll probably shoot him if they find out he's a rebel. So I'm gonna go back and like save him. So she does, but it turns out her boyfriend has been working for the government this whole time.
Sugar. Oh my god, I can't believe him. Also, Castrol joined for like a minute and then realized we were sitting in silence and left.
Bruh.
Kind of cringe.
It's not that for him. Anyway, now she's running, I believe, to the Resistance. I don't remember where she goes here. But she's running away again, and nearly got shot. And everyone wants this literal MacGuffin. Not literal MacGuffin, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so, hunted and devoid of options, Constance heads to the tunnels beneath the city.
Also, I just remembered another bit of fun literary analysis for this shit. Since this is based on like World War I and World War II, since the rebellion and the resistance like operated the subway tunnels, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be give me a second. A bit of a reference, since a lot of people, I believe that like old like subway tunnels and shit were used during bombings during the First and Second World War as bomb shelters. Civilians would just stay under there. I'm not sure if that's intentional. It's just something I noticed.
Okay.
Slouching engines growl. The long dark land, the lost and trapped in the underground. The concrete deep, which breathes beneath. Wrath-mad creatures prowl. Frightened ones who've not seen the sun in the underground. In the underground.
Fun fact, quite a few other lyrics in this song reference, I believe it's Elysium Nights, the song that Jasper sings in the original musical.
Nice.
And also all the government soldiers have the same like running verse that they did at the end of the first musical when they were executing Jasper and what's her face? And Faye? Or no, it wasn't Faye. Whatever her name was.
That's Jasper was playing cards with.
Yeah, that one. And there's quite a few there's quite a few like running musical motifs that go through the whole series that I really like. And it's a little sad that no like future production picked up anything past the first musical.
Just how stuff goes sometimes.
I know, but so many of these like jazz sections feel like there's supposed to be like some dancing or something happening during them. Also foreshadowing.
And so, stumbling through the dark labyrinths beneath the city, Constance
Wait, you
finds herself pursued by...
don't I know you?
No, shh, don't break character.
No. There was like a radio broadcast.
Another life in another world, dear.
Who are you?
Whoever the story needs me to be. Now come, let's slip back into character. Shh.
To this day, I have zero clue why that section is in there. I'm gonna be real honest. It probably means something, but I have zero clue why. He was probably like planning to do something with it, and then decided on the costume and stuff instead.
Why keep it in?
Because he'd already made 3 musicals between that and deciding the costume and stuff he was gonna roll with. Paul Shapera could genuinely make a musical about him getting ready in the morning, and it would be the most it would slap so hard. We listened to 6 minutes of her wandering around in a subway tunnel, and it was fucking glorious. Like nothing fucking happened in that song. What were you gonna say?
That section you just said was weird. What if like it's there because give me a sec. I know my thought process. I just need to like spurt it out into words.
All right, take your time.
You say it like, okay, it's insinuated that she's playing herself, like, yeah, right? Because this is a radio show where they're playing characters.
Yeah.
And she mentions kind of recognizing one of the narrators. It could be a possibility that one of the narrators is maybe one of, like, either her boyfriend, who turned out to be part of the government, or it could just be, like, a government officer that she saw that night.
I sound fiery, but we do actually have confirmation who the narrator is, and it's fucking wild. If you want to hear about it, well, I don't think we even get this like established in the main musical series. There was a small spin-off with a character we don't meet for a couple of musicals that establishes who establishes that they know him, and we got a whole like podcast series about it. It's fucking wild. Would you like to hear about this before we go on to the next song?
Sure, go nuts.
All right. So I'm pretty sure this has been expanded upon in the new musicals that I haven't listened to. But the gist, I believe Lloyd, or like our main narrator guy, who's been narrating this whole musical, he's already he is established to be a posthuman, and is also heavily implied to be a doll. Since since in his little podcast series, he continuously references the fact he's made of wood and can no longer eat or piss. And his boyfriend, when he finally meets him, so much longer on the timeline, does not recognize him until he speaks. So it's heavily implied that that he's most likely a doll, and that he also has been hopping dimensions for quite a while, using his powers to control fate. And this is just one of the many this is one of just the many timelines and dimensions that he's hopped through in his adventures.
Nice.
So there's some wild fucking backstory to a radio play about a historical event that happened in universe.
Well, I'd be very concerned if it happened in real life.
Before super soldiers would be cool. I don't actually remember if anything happens in the song either.
Angry adolescents with no parents left hang out all night shopping in their attitudes and smoking cigarettes, laughing, howling, crying till the room spins. Hang on to Katie, all I know is tomorrow night I'll do it all again. In the wasteland where the ashes all fall down from worlds that could never stand. In the wasteland where rings of roses, broken boughs just fall down and down and down. I'd rage with Katie through our lost teen years. Ways too wild to notice and too sad to care. I learned the wind blows and the bow it breaks. So I look to have some laughs, some grass and shots of what you got I'll take. At 2 a.m. a pack of wild kids laugh, swig bottles back. Stumbling and fumbling, I bid goodnight and slap their backs. I'd stray to the graveyard and pass out on my mother's grave until my aunt comes, puts a blanket round me and just sits and stays. In the wasteland where the ashes all fall down from worlds that could never stand. In the wasteland where rings of roses, broken boughs just fall down and down, down. Katie's daddy threw her mom aside, left her with nothing, and I loved her. She was always kind, and in her hour of need, no one would look around. Someone had to step up, but I was drowned and so far down. Eyes in the wasteland. My dear daddy, whiskey on his breath. I never knew him really, and one day Daddy left, but he'd say, my girl, if only one thing now I ever teach you, sweetheart, do not stay down. Little girl, down. You kick and scream and scratch, you roar and thrash, but don't stay down. The last breath you take, spit in their face, you lick your wounds another day. But get off the ground, go take them down. Oh, little girl, don't stay down. Daddy dear, I could use your voice right now. Life smacked me round and I'm so down, I just can't get up from here. I put that angry girl behind me and arose from ash just like you asked. I could use a hint now though. I'm in the wasteland where ashes all fall down from walls I could never stand. In the wasteland where rings of roses, broken boughs all fall down and down. Little girl, oh little girl, you don't stay down. You kick and scream and scratch, you roar and thrash, but don't stay down. The last breath you take, spit in their face, you lick your wounds another day. But get off the ground, go take them down. Oh, little girl, don't stay down.
Sure was a lot of backstory.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Fine.
No, never. I do. Musical good. Thank you. That's that's very deep analysis. I mean, yeah, if you wish for more analysis, count me in a second. One thing I did notice is that while Constance is like actively doing stuff, I'm not entirely sure what the term is. I believe it's an active protagonist, where like they move the story instead of the story moving them. And I believe she's the only character in this musical, technically, who gets an "I Want" song, which is like a staple of musicals, where one of the characters just sits and sings about what they want for a couple minutes.
Yeah. I don't know if you're getting this from like music or from that one like Cats thing we watched.
I get all my literary analysis techniques simply by watching video essays about random things I like.
So yeah, probably from that one Cats thing we watched at the Clovers.
Yeah, but one thing that's interesting is that John O'Brien is the reactionary protagonist. Is that he only ever does things. He only ever does things for other people. He becomes an alcoholic, reacting to his wife's death. Upon getting offered to become a super soldier, he goes and does that. And when he finally meets, when he meets his daughter again, he does what she wants. What should be his "I Want" song is just him being bitter and depressed about how his life turned out. That was, I believe, his introductory song to Green Room Pale, which I believe is like the second or third song. It's the third song in the album. It's just about how depressed and sad he is because he fucked up big time.
But
I thought that was interesting. It's time for more drama.
Drama.
She's been wandering underground for a while.
And if you stay calm, I can help you.
Ooh, her boyfriend found her.
Oh no, you must be glad now you finally found me. Lord knows what they offered you to write. I just wanna know, when did they turn you? When'd you go? How long do you plan to stab me in the back?
I was never turned, I was undercover. Constance, this was never about you. This city people's lives we must step up and sacrifice to bring peace back. I swear that this is true.
Told me that you loved me. You told me we were meant to be. You lied and you broke my heart. You told me that you loved me. You used me and you played me.
Like you played your marks. Like you played your marks. The thief is a lady, and I thought that one day maybe when this was over we might have a chance. I swear that I came to love you and now save you, but lives depend on finishing what I began.
Told me that you loved me. You broke me and you shattered me with every word, which maybe I deserve. But I loved you with all my heart. I loved you and you ripped me apart. I loved you, and now it's gone.
No,
What?
it's them.
Who?
You don't know what they'll do to me.
Who?
The voodoo punks.
Aunt Jackie?
Policeman, it's sublime to meet you here now at this time. I notice that you've made my dear niece cry. But don't worry about that, no. I've brought some friends to say hello. We're so glad that you have thought to stop on by. Policemen, we all know that up there we're afraid to go. You kill us in cold blood day after day. But now we're underground and you are on our own turf now. The voodoo punks request your presence at our soiree.
Let's go. The voodoo punks have kidnapped the boyfriend. Just fuck him.
Woo. There's a really weird thing that he's done. See, every time the ants sung, obviously she gets a very jazzy like singing, and every time she gets a walking bass line, which is like the dum 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 dum.
Yeah.
The kind of steps thing you hear underneath. I think that's really cool. I don't know what the fuck it means.
I think it's just like our character theme. Like
but I
most,
think that's quite funky.
I mean, most there's like a lot of motifs that go along with a lot of stuff in his musicals, like repeated lines or themes. Like a lot of almost every time there's like this large, overwhelming, oppressive force, they always share roughly the same sort of. I guess like I don't know how to describe it because I don't know a lot about music. But it's very much like they all sound very similar. And there's a running there's running lyrics and shit. It's good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just her. I'm pretty sure that's just her her theme that plays in the background every time she's on screen, or on screen in quotation marks. Also,
I just thought that was fun.
Also, we get another voodoo punk song. There's the voodoo punk's like a reoccurring group in these musicals. They play like a large part in this trilogy, but not so much in the rest. But they're a very big part of Albion's history in terms of the timeline, and they get a lot of like chanting, sort of. They have like a lot of chanting and shit, and I absolutely adore all their songs. Also, was it? And that last song, Paul Shapera did the thing he always does, which is he introduces like a character or conflict, barely develops it, and then has something really dramatic happen. And like you don't care too much for the characters, but the song's so well made you feel sad. You feel sad about it anyway. Just it's so dramatic, and I don't give a shit about these two.
He probably as a business email. Just email him one day, like, hey, I'll write you better characters if you keep giving us good songs.
I mean, he writes and composes all this shit himself, so I think I'll leave him to it. I do absolutely adore his work, though. Alright, are you ready for 6 minutes of cult song?
Ooh.
Where they basically recite a voodoo spell to get the police officer possessed by a ghost.
What?
Yeah, that's what this next song's about. They kidnap the policeman, tie him up, and then perform a ritual to allow a ghost to possess his body. Trust me, this is all.
This is only the second musical in like the series.
Yeah, I told you there's voodoo magic in this one.
What the fuck?
This isn't even the wildest it gets. Their magic gets weirder later, but this is step 1 of their plan.
Possess someone.
Yes. Actually, spirit possession is a thing that happens in this series. It happens again in the next one. Also, singing in Latin seems to be a big thing for the voodoo punks. Because this is also in Latin. I don't remember what it translates to. But the voodoo punk song in the last musical also had singing in Latin. But I believe it was the girls' solo midway through the song. We should look at the translation of what that's supposed to mean later. Are you supposed to come? Is this you good?
Oui.
Okay. I'm thriving to this song. Also, I'm pretty sure this is one of the first songs that the ant actually sings instead of just like sing talks. Oh, the sea? Possession.
Of course.
Also, is spirit possession that extreme when the dead was brought back last time?
When the what was come back?
When they brought back the dead in the last musical.
Yeah.
Is ghost possession that much of a step forward?
I don't know.
To be fair, this is
Probably because it's a real life person, not a mindless doll.
well, the doll had a soul of a person in it. You get over there?
Yeah.
And you're muttering under your breath.
I'm muttering the song.
I can hear. Boom, let's go. Cult song.
Woo!
First of all, I take it you like this song?
What one?
The one we just listened to.
Kind of is. I think it was more just the repetitive of the bit that under the Latin bit over the under the English bit.
Yeah. Well, I have a lot to fucking say about that one.
Say away.
Right, well, there's two callbacks. One to the last musical and one to this one. One of the lyrics mentions Elysium Nights, which was Jasper's song, if you remember in the first one. The one he sung while trying to get elected. The one about wanting to die.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring this up is because Elysium is basically the Voodoo Punks version of the afterlife. And it is also implied that the Voodoo Punks can use their magic by singing songs they get from the dead, which kind of implies that Jasper's song did actually have some sort of like magic power that people thought it did. And is also established to be where they got this song from. One final thing is one of the lyrics in that song mentioned making him a new man, which is meant to parallel the song "The Pitch" or earlier in the musical, where John O'Brien was getting the pitch from the recruitment officer about joining the Super Soldier program. But it's obviously for the other side of the fight, which I thought was quite interesting. Anyway, it's the final song of
After
Act 1.
Her ex-boyfriend as a vessel of spirit possession and showing off a few of their potent hypnotic songs of the dead they've collected over the years, with which they hope to use to end the war, the Voodoo Punks finally guide Constance to the substation, where she can at last drop off the device that has caused her so much trouble.
Boys, now please don't freak, I bought this stupid MCG. I've had a long and really hellish day. Take it and go do whatever you think you have to. I want this bloody thing far away. With this I wash my hands, I lost my life and all I had. And all I want to do is go to bed.
There's the fucking military motif again. Because we have come right back to the present, where we ended the last act.
Past the world, past the night, past the stars where seabirds fly, past your dreams to toil and shore, where we will meet again once more.
Daddy?
Let's go. We'll come full circle. Now we can finally actually get to the battle. This entire musical hinges on.
And now, a very special word from our sponsor.
Let's go. More sponsors.
Folks, haven't we all had enough of war, violence, chaos, sadness, and loss? Don't we all just want to live someplace where you can walk safely down the street, where your children are safe from violence and pain? Well, what one important way you can help to make this happen is to smoke popover cigarettes. Smoking popover cigarettes supports your city. It not only helps the reconstruction effort, but popover cigarettes is the only cigarette made from a patented blend of organic tobacco and the ancient Chinese medicinal popover. It's guaranteed to relax and soothe you. You deserve to have all the anxieties of the day swept away. And now, back to the New Albion Radio Hour. Welcome back to the third and final act of our special broadcast focusing on the crucial Battle of Criers Boulevard, which decided the outcome of the war. We open hours after the events of Acts 1 and 2. Jacqueline O'Brien sits in an isolated substation deep below the city with the captured young policeman, Thomas.
Waiting,
Waiting in conversation.
still no word from the surface.
So he bought the farm and left the city.
But by then she was so drunk she couldn't keep it straight. Still no word.
But they never performed together ever after.
He would have gotten it if he'd been able to wait. Still no word.
I could hear my mother crying,
Waiting,
trying to be silent. And it was then that I vowed that I'd become a policeman. Prevent that sort of thing from happening again.
waiting,
Waiting.
still no word.
So have you ever been in love?
Woo, Thomas backstory. Who gives a shit?
You, because you like the musical.
No, I don't. Thomas is very unimportant to the plot. He exists to betray Constance and then get possessed.
I love that for him.
And then we get Constance. We get Jacqueline the aunt going on about her epic backstory.
A bookstore, a fair, a music hall, bar, everywhere I went, I saw her at a circus run down on the outskirts of town. We sat down and started talking. The hours stopped. The days unwind at 1:45, the best of times. In hindsight, I wish the sweet, painful bliss of seduction had drawn out longer. 'Cause we fell in fast, fell hard, and the world spun past like a waltz that swept along us. The hours stop, the days unwind at 5:02, the best of times. From money she came, weekends in those days, our soirees were the wildest in town. The inspired, the mad, the thinkers, the poets all laughed, raised a glass and well past. The hours start, the days unwind. It's precisely now, the best of times. The times, they darken, the purges that started on the day they came. Dorothy was taken. The doors all were locked, the parties all stopped. I learned to drink scotch in a dark room, forsaken. Years passed, but then I saw her again, sewing clothes in a room without fans. She didn't know me, she couldn't, you see. In her eyes, something missed. There's a trick with a pick. The doctor gives it a nick. It makes you docile real quick. The hours stop, the days unwind. Moments pass, memories sigh, but have passed the best of times.
How fucking dark this song was, Jesus Christ. So I think Paul Shapera has some... who hurt him? Because he does not like happy relationships. Not allowed to happen.
No, illegal, obviously.
Did you catch what the song was about?
No.
Basically, the aunt used to have a girlfriend. She got captured by the government. Years later, she found her working in a sweatshop, only to find that she'd been fucking lobotomized after being captured, and just didn't realize, and just didn't know who the fuck she was.
Love that.
Yeah, but we're almost to my favorite song, which is the one after this one, which is it's hype as fuck, and I love it. I don't remember what this one's about, but I'm pretty sure it's just a preamble to that one.
Hello? Hello, is anyone there? Can anybody hear me? If you're there, run! Run!
It's time to go and see what's happening up there.
Jacqueline, what about me?
And so Jacqueline hands Thomas to the voodoo punks to be executed.
What? No, are you insane? I'm doing no such thing.
Jackie, it's the story. You have to.
I don't have to do anything, Lloyd. For heaven's sake, he's barely old enough to drink. He's misguided, but he doesn't deserve to die.
That's a new sentiment.
We've used him enough.
Used me for what? Jackie.
Lloyd, this isn't up for discussion. Thomas, you come into the surface with me. The war should have been over by now. The soldiers should be incapacitated, but something's gone wrong.
Jacqueline, what did you do?
I think something very bad.
And so, as Jacqueline and Thomas head to the surface, we go several hours into the past, where a legion of soldiers have assembled at Criers Boulevard, beneath where a rampaging John O'Brien has inexplicably turned against the other government soldiers.
Alright, cool. You gotta love when they fuck with time.
Of course, yep, of course.
Basically, that takes place a couple hours after the battle, where they realize their plan has not worked. And it's kind of fucked. Also, we get to find out what the MCG is. Shall I explain it now so it's not confusing when it shows up in the song?
Sure, go nuts.
Basically, the MCG lets the rebels hack into the hack the frequency that the enemies, that the government soldiers use to communicate on the air. Pardon me a second. It lets them broadcast over the frequency that the soldiers use to communicate over the radios on their helmets, so they can play their voodoo songs for it. And John O'Brien has started gunning down government soldiers, and no one can stop him because he's a fucking super soldier.
Of course.
And now we get into my favorite fucking song in this whole musical.
And we've come here to play. We've come as the butcher to pack them away. The target's beneath us and headed our way. He'll be out here in 20. So look lively, mates, and expect some more company. Couple sexy machines when they hear that we're here. The rats will convene. They cannot resist you. They want a night of mayhem. So shoot all who come here on sight.
Transmit the MCG. Get the policemen. Put the policemen up against the MCG.
Dolly, oh, oh, we come, Dolly. Dolly, oh, oh, we come, Dolly. Dolly, oh, oh, we come, Dolly. Dolly, oh, oh, we come to play.
50 more minutes till we get to play. Though the stars on our helmet soon go away. This new MCG that transmits to your men will revolutionize tactics, but it's foggy as hell. Ignore the sound music, stay focused instead. When I find out who did this, I'll piss down their necks. Do not stop singing. Darling, oh, oh, we come to play.
And so, with the MCG broadcasting the hypnotic song into the soldiers' helmets, they fall under its spell. As the song spreads, all who hear it begin singing, and it slowly but surely moves out into the greater population, spreading across the entire city like a virus.
Did you get that?
Kind of.
Right, basically, the government soldiers were storming the building. Since the policeman was possessed by a dead person, and the songs of the dead are what gives the voodoo punks their magic. They just kind of put him up, like put the microphone up to his mouth, and started broadcasting the song he was singing over the soldiers' helmets. The song was basically the song's like whole magic thing is that whoever hears it is forced to sing it too. And so as it was broadcast over the soldiers' helmets, they got incapacitated singing the song as well. And it kind of just spread out to the whole town. And now literally the entire enemy force is incapacitated.
I love that.
And now John and the ant get to reunite.
And so Jacqueline and Thomas step out into a city laid to waste. Everyone in sight is swaying mindlessly to the hypnotic song of the dead. The only sane people they find are Constance and her father John, who look happy and serene. Having not seen each other in years, John and Jackie, brother and sister, reunite.
We never call on birthdays.
The haze and rose forgotten, the lost left wave behind.
I know, we were never all that close. We never talked, just pleasantries and lines.
We never call on birthdays. You lost her, and I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. The hole goes
So far down.
It's true. You had a language I never knew.
You were always kind when it really counts.
We never call on birthdays.
You're there at the beginning,
Then gone as we live our lives.
I know, I couldn't be what you needed most.
You were always kind in the darkest of times. We never call on birthdays.
Constance, I am truly glad we found you.
I'm glad they let you go, they were wrong. Everyone's obsessed with control and dominance.
How have you survived up here so long?
We walked and we talked and we walked, my father and me.
You strolled about in this apocalypse.
We walked and we talked so long.
Why haven't you succumbed to this song?
It's like a noisy tale of hopes and dreams in which I do not care to be.
The city is lost, it's time to retreat.
Because we've been possessed, we are immune. John's been mutilated.
Soon all will succumb
reconstructed,
to
so we
this
say.
plague you've unleashed.
Constance, there's no reason why for you. There's something in your eyes.
At least we're
something
together
happened this last night.
now that it's done.
Changed you in some way I cannot tell. But I have doomed them all,
Only
and I
thing
have
for
caused
us, we all now must run.
Constance, don't go near them. If you hear, you'll disappear them.
Stories within stories.
Come, darling.
Listen.
But this, first of all, Thomas speaking straight facts. I'm gonna be real honest. They were just kind of having like a sweet family reunion while everyone was essentially dead up there. I also just love that they don't bother explaining why she's immune to the song. It's like all the voodoo punks have supposedly already been possessed, so they're all immune to their own voodoo magic. And since there's literally so much metal in John, he's also immune. But they just straight up point out there's no reason for Constance not to be affected by the song. And this is... I don't get this song. I'm gonna be real honest. I've listened to this musical like twice or 3 times now. This is like my 3rd time listening to this, but I don't get it. She bursts into this song, and then it dispels the voodoo punk song. And everyone wakes up, and it's stupid. I don't get it.
Magic.
Apparently, but not like established magic. She just pulls it out of her ass. And maybe you will have some great insight to what this fucking song's about. Probably not. But it's worth a try. Maybe you'll once you listen to it, maybe you'll have some great insight on what the fuck this is supposed to, what any of this means. Because it doesn't seem to have any relevance to the rest of the musical.
The girl felt scared and so unsure. The tales they told, the 1,000 doors. She saw the wolf in the forest in bed and thought it's better to be a wolf instead. So she buys a ticket to Storyville Station, where pages unfold the lost ones taken. And every day just goes by like a dream. Now the girl is a wolf full of fierce and guile. She hunts her prey and runs the wild. At last though she is caught by man, and now she sees an even better plan. So she buys a ticket to Storyville Station, where the players are cast before they've awakened. And every day just goes by like a dream. And seem is not to be. Here now, here with me. As man she is mighty and tames the land. So soldiers come and above her stand. But above the soldiers a general sits, who takes his orders straight from a prince. So she buys a ticket to Storyville Station, where everyone's wishing and the play the players. And every day just goes by like a dream. And seem is not to be. Here now, won't you be now here with me? All is not as always it might seem. Dreamers lost in dreams within a dream. Now she's the prince, staring at the king. But the king he cracks, broken by something. He gives up his gold, kingdom, power and all. The prince must know what causes kings to fall. Well, he walked away from the top of the world, all for the love of just one girl. Storyville Station can never take the one who's here now and awake. The pages fall unseen is not to be. Here now, here with me.
Alright, any thoughts? I think I have an idea what the fuck that was meant to be about.
Well, what's your idea before I start spouting mine?
I want to hear yours before I spout mine, because I know a lot more about the universe than you do, but I want to hear your raw opinion on what it means.
Okay. I don't know why it stops the thingy, or why she's not affected by it, but what I think the song is supposed to be is the wolf represents her, right?
Mhm.
And she's basically, throughout this song, what she's describing is how she wishes her life could have been if it wasn't for the fact that her dad left to be a super soldier, her mom hadn't got murdered.
Mhm.
Basically, how she wished her life could have been, like a dream, as it says, like in the sort of chorus. But at the very end, when she's like, after she sings about the king giving up his crown and the prince not really knowing why, she kind of more starts describing on how her life actually is, and it's not really a dream, even though she doesn't obviously say it's not really the dream, because then she goes back to describing how she wishes her life was a dream, or was the dream,
Okay.
That's how it's her describing how she wishes her life could have been if it wasn't for all of this voodoo punk stuff.
Right. Shall I give you my take?
Go nuts.
Right, this is one of the two instances in this musical, kind of, where Constance displays the ability to change the narrative. Earlier, her playing Jacqueline the Ant refuses to let the boyfriend get executed, even though that's what's supposed to happen in the story. So she manages to break the narrative by going against fate itself and changing what happens. This is the second time where this happens in Storyville Station. What is supposed to happen is, I believe the main characters are supposed to die, and it's supposed to be a tragic ending. Is what's supposed to happen. But in this song, she changes that again by forcing everyone to wake up. In the next trilogy, it's all about these friends putting on a play and slowly realizing that it isn't real, and that they're all part of something much bigger than what they thought they were. And those musicals also share the big motif of plays and stories. And I think this is my interpretation, at least, is Constance is realizing that she's part of this, that she isn't actually the character she's playing, and that she's being used to tell these stories and change the narrative of what actually happened on those days. And all, like, the song itself, she sings about, I believe being a small, like a rabbit or something first, then seeing how much more powerful the wolf was, so she becomes a wolf. Then she turns into a human, becomes a human. Then sees an army above that, and becomes a soldier, and then becomes a prince, and continuously works her way up and changing roles each time. And I think that's calling to the fact that that she's playing different characters, and doesn't really even sure what's happening or what's real, which is supported by the fact that she almost wakes up out of character at one point earlier in the show, that we pointed out earlier. Anyway, we've got 2 songs left. They sort of close out the story.
Let's go.
And so, I can't narrate this. Come on, Jackie. You mean to tell me Constance just sings another song and it dispels the first?
Yes. How else were we going to
That's
solve?
stupid.
Well, what are we supposed to do?
You're supposed to not change the narrative.
Lloyd, the entire city was going to fall.
That's the point. It's supposed to be an epic tragedy.
Well, we don't want an epic tragedy. Jesus, Lloyd, what's with the bloodthirsty attitude?
It's the beauty of the story. The story would be told for generations.
For heaven's sakes, Lloyd, we're not interested in your epic tragedy. Besides, the most striking tragedies are always the most intimate ones. Lloyd?
Okay, Jackie. I actually see your point.
Oh, thank God.
The intimate ones are the best. It's no fall of New Albion, but if Constance dies...
No, not Constance.
No, it would be beautifully heart-wrenching.
Lloyd.
We'll do it your way.
You can't do that. You're not the story. You're just the bloody narrator.
Watch and learn, Jackie.
Also, he active like word for word calls out that she changed the narrative, which I think is pretty cool. But it doesn't really mean anything until you know about posthumans, which we don't find out about until far later.
And so, as the government forces slowly regain their senses, they find Constance O'Brien, the most hunted thief in the city, standing right before them.
It's time you all go, I'll keep them away. I promise you'll be safe today. And here is your father, it's my job to die if need be for you. We stole a day so sweet, we talked just you and me. It's more than I had ever dreamed.
Is a lady, but now we both must get to safety. All along I've tried to keep you safe. Please let me help get you somewhere safe, secure then. If you wish, I'll turn and go away.
I'm giving it up, I'm giving it a try. I'll find a new way to fight the same fight. And I'm giving a chance, I'll give it a try. I'll give you tonight.
I always hated birthdays.
Why have you not fled to safety?
I'm staying by your side. You're my blood. I won't leave you, I won't run. We're not alone, not here, not you and I. Besides, I never called on birthdays.
Jackie.
Oops, Chocolate died.
Oopsies.
I wish for your forgiveness. I wish the past was different. I wish I would have known.
I wish for stars and sails, pipe dreams and fairy tales, but atonement time has flown.
Attention! John O'Brien, you are surrounded. There is no possibility of escape. Put down your weapon and surrender.
In the fire, in the fire, in the fire, in the fire, bathe in the fire. In the fire, bathe in the fire. In the fire. Run or taste my rage. Run or this is your last day. Run away. Run as on the day you
To summarize, in case that all went too quickly, Constance is giving her ex-boyfriend another chance.
Why? It's cringe.
Because he has seen the error of his ways. Also because he was allowed to live because of one of the narrators not wanting him to get executed.
It's cringe.
All the soldiers woke up. Jack told everyone else to get to safety, and his sister did not. She got shot, and then John slaughtered every single government soldier in the city because he's a super soldier, and he's far stronger than all of them. But he dies. But he dies at the same time. This is the final song. We're gonna get our epilogue.
Though John O'Brien died on the Boulevard of Criers, he took the city forces with him to the other side. The rebels overran a defenseless parliament, but then turned on each other, so no government now stands on Criers Boulevard that day. There were some who walked away. After Constance sang, they dropped their guns, though why no one can say. They left the city yet. No one's quite sure where they went, but some say they hear bells ringing in the mountains to the west. Constance fought and fought until one day they changed the laws regarding women in the district where the upper classes flock. Then she and Thomas left, but no one's quite sure where they went. But they were last seen headed to the mountains in the west. Albion still stands, but it's broken, fractured, and its 8 districts function independently as best they can. There's checkpoints in between, they eye each other warily, but for the time, despite all of this tension, there's peace. The voodoo punks, my friends, are resurfacing again, though who can say if this is good or bad for New Albion? The city must unite, it cannot stand with such divide, but we leave discussion of this point for another time. So again we bid adieu to our players and to you. Same old channel, same old hour, be sure to next time tune. And now we say good day, the future's always on its way, and thus we end our passion play as it's played today.
And that's the musical. It's all over. Jacqueline's dead. Constance finally managed to get the law changed, and then her and her boyfriend fucked off to the mountains to the west, which is brought up later, but I don't think we ever get payoff for what it is. Like in a couple musicals from now, one of the characters is said in universe. Like in the story for the character she's playing to have come from the mountains of the west, and we do find out that they've run into someone on their way there, and he mentions running into them during one of the musicals, but we never find out where the fuck they went.
Into the mountains of the west.
I guess the mountains of the west, I believe, is supposed to be into the mainland of the continent they're on. But I don't think we're ever told why. And we do find out about a couple other towns surrounding New Albion, far in the future, but we never get confirmation where the fuck everyone went. Somewhere. Hey, what did you think?
Good music.
Poggers. One day I shall kidnap you and make you watch the next one. You're in this for the long haul now, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's all over for you. I'm gonna
no.
I'm gonna hold you at gunpoint and force you to watch all of them, and I can nerd out to you.
Please help, she's holding me at gunpoint.
Don't listen to them. They're not talking. They're not thinking straight.
Help! She's just
Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. It's fine.
Please.
Shut up.
She doesn't feed me. I'm starving here.
I feed you. I make paninis. You have paninis.
No, I
Shut.
corner, they're moldy bread.
No one. No. Shush. Don't lie to people like that.
I'm not.
Silence. Alright.
What?
I was gonna say something, but it's totally slipped my mind. Give me a
Haha,
second.
loser.
Shush.
Imagine.
Shush.
Imagine
And-
having a mushroom for your brain.
There's a brain in there. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Fuck
I
you.
don't believe that for a fucking second.
Do you think someone without a brain could have told you all that literary analysis about the musical?
Probably.
Wow, okay, I see how it is. Just discredit all writing students. I don't care.
I'm not discrediting or writing students, I'm discrediting you.
Sure, right. Anyway, let's hope this stream does not get carpet bombed off the internet. If it,
Fingers crossed for you.
if it does, we'll still stream the next one. I'll just have to unarchive it, and we can't put it on my channel. You'll have to watch it live, or you're going to get to see it all. But we'll see.
Yeah, so twitch.tv/AmiMusgaria. Come watch Sunday 7 p.m. BST/GMT.
Yes, please
We're
do.
still in BST, yeah.
Yeah, the clock's on the one forward, yeah. We're back. I don't remember which one it is. But our clock's haven't changed.
Back.
Also, Paul Shapera, please don't carpet bomb us. Your musicals are really good. Yeah.
Please, I'm sorry for calling you transphobic earlier.
That's like... Right. We shall end the stream here then.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.